don't know anything about saving worlds, but you do.
Trust me, kid, I'm no hero. You were an X-Man. You were the X-Man.
What's going on, everyone? This is the Lord Prime Productions, and today I'm going to be giving you guys, you guessed it, a Deadpool and Wolverine movie review. Now, I've seen this movie twice, and the second time around, it is just, it's even better. And I've seen it on, apparently, the full movie on YouTube a couple times today, and in my personal opinion, I just think that's wrong. But we're not going to get into that. But I'm just going to give you my full review, what I think of the movie, and there will be some major spoilers ahead for this movie. So that's why I waited for now, so that way I can see and, let everyone see the movie, and then that way we can go into major discussions. So, first of all, how do I feel about the movie? Does this movie live up to the hype? Right now, this movie is almost at $500 million globally, and I think for a rated R Marvel movie, for Deadpool, this is like a really good strong point for the first 5 days that it's been released. I saw this on opening night, and I just saw it yesterday again with my family, so, that helps out, but I think this is going to help Disney, this is going to help Marvel, and this really lets a lot of people have high hopes for the future of Marvel, because this movie, I think, does a really good job of bringing all the old characters back, which I'm going to get into here in just a couple of minutes, and they have a really good story. I think the villain, Cassandra Nova, she's really interesting. I've seen her in most of the comics. If you don't know who Cassandra Nova is, basically she is Professor X's evil twin. And in this movie, she's more like an alien, which how they also described it when a bunch of interviews were happening for Deadpool and Wolverine when they didn't want to, give too much about the whole film. And I completely understand that, but you had to go see the film. And I think she's a very interesting character on how she uses her powers, and she wanted to stay in the void until the very end. And overall, I think the interaction between Deadpool and Wolverine was just amazing. Cinematically, it was just awesome. And I think the visuals and the CGI were also pretty good. And I also forgot one thing. Wolverine puts on his iconic mask for the first time in 20 years. I was just beyond excited. And I think, honestly, in my personal opinion, that is probably my favorite point of this movie. Even though it was just a couple seconds, that was by far the greatest thing I've seen so far from Wolverine. Now, let's also talk about some cameos. So if you have not seen the movie yet, I recommend you turning off this video right now and go seeing it. But if you guys are here for my review, let's jump into it. So the cameos, first of all, Deadpool at the beginning is still having his cable watch from Deadpool 2. You see a little bit at the beginning. He goes to 616 to recruits for the Avengers and talks to Happy Hogan. Very, very nice cameo there. I really enjoyed it. And we also had X-23, who we did see in the final trailer, so that was a given. And then some of the other characters. We also had Elektra, who I was not expecting, and honestly a very good cameo in that. We had Channing Tatum's Gambit, who had the full freaking costume from the original X-Men, and he also had the staff, he had the cards and everything. It was just perfect. It was a perfect feel for Gambit, and they did him justice, and they gave him a really good like accent. I couldn't understand it at the first time when I went, but when the second time it was more understandable. So you have to really listen to his voice. And then we also had Ladypool. And we had freaking Wesley Snipe, freaking Blade in the movie, which I was not expecting at all. But again, he's a Fox character, and Wesley Snipe and Deadpool did not get along in Blade 2 at all, and I don't really think they got along. But over the years, they also did get along as well. Which, honestly, Blade was an awesome cameo in that movie, and I was just not expecting it. It was such a good thing. Then we had Ladypool and her Deadpool corps, like the multiversal Deadpool, all the different Deadpools. They had like a samurai Deadpool. They had like a Deadpool 2099, just like Spider-Man. And they also had a cowboy pool, which I caught the second time around, who is played and voiced by Matthew McConaughey, which I was not expecting. I didn't really get his voice the first time. I didn't really check the credits because there was so many during the credits, and I caught it during the second time and watched it during the reviews as well. But overall, it was just a really fun, entertaining movie with cameos. And we also had Hunter B-15 from the Loki, and also a big one, Chris Evans as Johnny Storm from the Fantastic Four, which at first I thought it was going to be Captain America, because you saw his cloak. You didn't really get to see his full thing. I kind of saw a little bit of red on his arms, but it was also bandaged in blue. So I thought that was Captain America. I was like, okay, where's his shield? But then Johnny, he said something, and then Deadpool got excited. He's like, oh my gosh, he's going to say it. And he was like, Avengers. And then Johnny says, Flame On. And I got super excited. And Johnny Storm is also a perfect cameo in this as well. And he also talks about Reed Richards, so that's also a little hint to the Fantastic Four as well. So all the cameos in this were amazing. Even all the X-Men villains, you got to see Ezekiel, you got to see Juggernaut, who was also in it, really good, and Pyro, who returned as well. And you had, I think, Toad. I think that's also the other one that was in there as well. But overall, all the cameos were just incredible, and I thought they combined that with the story as well. That was just really, really, really good, in my personal opinion. And I also liked the interaction between Paradox, who you find out is not really working with the TVA. He's kind of like, how should I put this? Like, going with Pyro and kind of just trapping Cassandra Nova, and he's using some machine to like destroy universes and realities. It was kind of confusing at first. I still kind of don't understand that, but still, overall, it was really good story, really good visuals. And the main question that I've also been seeing is this movie going to save the MCU? The MCU is kind of on an up and down kind of scale. You know, one movie is like, and then one movie is like, oh, this is really good. I think it's going on that trend, but some of the other stuff that they put out, they've tried, but really this movie just shows what an R-rated movie can really feel like in the MCU. Even though they just announced Robert Downey Jr. is going to be playing Victor Von Doom, and I know some people aren't really liking that. I personally like that, but we're not going to get into that. We're talking about Deadpool and Wolverine, and honestly, it kind of saved it. Money-wise, it's doing really good. I think it's saving Disney at this point. Marvel has nearly surpassed $30 billion as a franchise, and is the number one highest grossing franchises of all time. And honestly, I just think overall it's a very good movie. Out of 10, I'd give it a solid 10, honestly. I know there's probably some people out there that's like, this is like really bad. But overall, very good story, very good visuals, very good character development. And honestly, you kind of have to watch Deadpool 1 and Deadpool 2, even though they show you some clips from those movies. I do recommend watching Deadpool 1 and 2. And I know Deadpool 1 was good, but Deadpool 2 and 3 are both really good. I kind of like 3 better, even though 1 was kind of an introduction story. But yeah, that's my overall review. I really like the movie. I hope you guys experience it in the movies if you have not seen it yet. So yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And I will see you very soon for another review that I hopefully will be doing for any movie that I probably see in the near future. Probably if someone takes me to go see Alien or the Transformers movie that's coming out in September, or the Venom. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this review. Subscribe if you're new here. Like and comment down below what your favorite scene from Deadpool and Wolverine was. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.